What's up, fellas? GEC time. This, as many of you probably know, is a Great Eastern Cutlery 71. I love this knife. This knife is kind of like my do-all GEC, do-all pocket knife. I mean, I guess I have a few of those. This knife I love for my do-all purposes because it is just kind of impervious to the abuse. I mean, I don't care about where this thing goes. Like, I can just throw this thing in my pocket. I don't have to worry about putting it into a slip. I don't have to worry about a sheath. I mean, aside from the 1095 rusting, I don't need to worry about this thing. And really that just has to do with the covers. These are linen micarta covers, scales, covers. And they're amazing. They're bulletproof. Normally I have a lanyard on this thing. Years ago it ripped. I shouldn't say normally. Because I think it's been like 2 years that it hasn't had it. But I need to put that back on there. But anyway, I just wanted to, I think the guy, Randy Johnson on YouTube, who I still do watch his videos, but I really liked his old GEC videos from way back when, because that's when I started getting into GECs. I've been in GECs for a while now. Anyway, I think he did a video on how to do like a awesome leather lanyard. And I mean, it's the coolest lanyard, that guy. I don't know. I hope I'm not screwing that up. I think that was him. Anyway, tang stamps. This thing is used. So that might look like rust. It's not. It's patina. This thing has been used. I mean, used and sharpened. The sharpening choil is pretty much gone. I mean, this thing is a razor now. Thing's a bolt of lightning. But this thing cuts. Anyway, tang stamp. See that? 71, 5, 1, 15. So this is a 71 pattern. 5 is the blade. I guess this is a drop point blade. There is one blade. There's the one. And this was made in 2015. So I bought this thing new in 2015. It has been through the ringer, literally. I mean, my wife, which is not really her fault, if anything it's my fault, my wife put this thing through the wash, which explains the back spring being all pitted. I mean, maybe that's pitting, I don't know. I just call it patina. But look at that thing. I mean, the back spring, through the abuse that this thing has been through. Let me close this. The back spring still does not have any gaps. I mean, this thing is tight. I could probably oil it, but listen to this. Isn't that amazing? Awesome walk and talk. This thing, I do remember when it was new and like used a little bit with oil in it, whatever, and the spring was still fresh. This thing popped just like that, but even into half stop. I find that half stop is a test. You can really see, and that's good. Here, right, that didn't happen. It would just pop down. See that? Now that I could oil this. That was tighter. Now it's probably my fault. Awesome snap open though. And to half stop, it's good. Kind of does that like boom thing where you bring it to half stop. Love that. It just means the spring is still tight. It's fresh. It's good. I mean, this thing's got a lot of life left into it. This is just oil. I don't attribute that to spring weakness. I think it's just me. And it's good. I mean, I love this knife. It's a perfect size. This might be 3 3/4 also. 3 3/4 seems to be my thing. Closed length. I'm not sure. This might be like 3.65 or something like that, or 3.7 or 3.8 or whatever like that. But either way, it's an awesome size knife. It's a little thicker than most single blade GECs, and that's because this is as a farm and field model, where hopefully you can see F&F, Farm and Field, USA. Farm and Field, I mean, this thing is meant to be a bruiser. It is a bruiser. Another reason why I don't really mind using it, especially these days. I mean, I got this thing back in 2015, as I said, when GEC was hot. But now, I mean, GEC is just wild. So that's the other reason why this thing has become like, I don't mind what I do with it. Partly because I've already beaten the crap out of it. And also, I mean, it can just take it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really depreciating. It's not really deteriorating or degenerating. It might be depreciating, but it doesn't matter. It's my knife. I'm not going to get rid of it. But the thing's just great. Whereas now, like if you buy a GEC, especially bone covers, I mean, don't get me wrong. I use them. I love them. GEC is just one of my favorite brands of all time. But now it's like when you get one, it's almost like I just kind of put it down for a while and I just look at it. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this thing? Because it's so, you don't know I mean, you do know, especially if you follow the market, you do know the value of it. You know, you know what you're looking at. You know, like for instance, a new 71, I'd look at that thing and I'd be like, am I going to use this or not? The answer would be yes, because especially these farm and field models, they're meant to be used. But some bone GECs, I'm like, this thing is going to be worth $400 one day, you know? It is what it is. I would say Bill Howard, you know, those guys who make these, the guys who built up the brand of Queen, Shatton Morgan, Remington, all the old school pocket knives, these were meant to be used. They were meant to be thrown in your pocket and used, and that's just the charm about them. So it's something else to see GEC becoming what it is now. It's like literally pocket jewelry. You know, the jewelry aspect of it is not really my thing, but it's functional art. I'll give it that. And they're just the hunt of chasing these things down is just so much fun. And then once you get it, it's like, how many knives do I need to have in rotation at the same time? So I'm kind of like, you know what? I'll let this one hang out in the case for a little while, and I'll take it out when I want to, and I'll look at it, and I'll kind of treasure it, and you know, keep any patina off of it, whatnot. But as I said, I digress. They're meant to be used. That's the bottom line. But you know, power to you if you collect them, and if you don't want to use them, don't use them. You know, I'm not one of those guys too. The centering there looks excellent. The centering here doesn't. So it's, you know, it's not perfectly centered. That might be how I've been banging this thing around for the past several years. You know, it also could just be a function of the swedge. But that is not perfectly centered. I don't think that's how the swedge is cut. I think it's just not perfectly centered. I don't really mind. Some of them I do mind. I'm not trying to say that I don't mind all the time. But with this, as I said, this thing is just a bruiser. I'm good if it's not perfectly centered. Now, some of them, it's kind of annoying if it's not perfectly centered, just because I've come to expect a certain level from GEC. And frankly, it would be something if they don't live up to that quality standard, which they've come to earn, which is partly why they're pulling in such prices on the secondary market. You know, I think somebody has the right to look at it and say, well, that's not perfectly centered. This transition isn't perfect. But so in some cases, I think that that's fair game. In other cases, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think with a farm and field GEC, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Again, I would be willing to bet, though, that this thing came perfectly centered. It's not a knock on GEC at all. I've just been using it a lot. I love how this back spring is still near perfect, except for how I've torched it. It's just, everything is tight on this thing. I need some oil, but other than that, it's good to go. Farm and field, this is 1095. It's not 01. I wish it was 01, but I don't wish it was 01, but 01's kind of cool. GEC does not do that anymore. GECTIW, Great Eastern Cutlery, Titusville Ironworks, awesome, just freaking awesome. I love this knife. I've always loved this knife. I have a couple of other 71s too. This one is just one I keep going back to. Like, it's a do everything knife. Like, I can do everything with this. I don't go fishing with this knife in the ocean. I will in a lake. Saltwater would eat this thing up. There's no doubt about it. But that's fine. It's not the knife's fault. It's a beauty, man. I love this thing, and I'm interested to see if you guys what patterns you guys love from GEC. Do you have any 71s? Do you use them? Hopefully you do. Do you have any other patterns that you don't? Probably, probably you do, but maybe you don't. One guy, I think, as I said, Randy Johnson. Kind of, I dig his channel. He's knowledgeable about knives. He's also very much into like tactical folders, which I'm into, but not as much. But I'm into them for sure. I shouldn't say not as much. I just love GECs and traditional pocket knives, but I love all pocket knives though. So anyway, I digress. He, it seems, uses all of his GECs, and God bless him. Power to him. I think it's awesome. They're meant to be used. I mean, that he's got a Fremont Jack in is that mammoth ivory? I don't know if it's not mammoth ivory. It's just ivory. I guess elfin ivory. I think it's elfin ivory, like, pre-ban, whatever the thing was put together. And he's got a Fremont Jack, Northwoods Fremont Jack in ivory, just called ivory, which is like beautiful. I mean, that thing is a pretty penny now, but he uses it. I mean, he doesn't abuse it, but he uses it. That's awesome. I know guys who don't use them. I know guys that do use them, and it's cool, man. Whatever you do, whatever you're into. I think there's room for both. I think there's an argument to be made for both philosophies. I'm not going to say anything else about this. I love this knife. It takes an awesome edge, sharpens up easily, hones good, strops good, belly's perfect. Very good steak knife, I'll say. Love it. Perfect size, perfect for side holding, perfect. Hammer fist or whatever, the hammer grip, it's good. I find when people say that hammer grip on a GEC or on any slip joint, it's not, I mean, unless you got like a 4.25-inch closed length and the thing is thick, it's not the best. I mean, I don't have huge hands, but I guess I have large hands. I don't know. But when I try and really grab onto this thing, if I'm trying to do heavy work, I mean, yeah, it would be better if I had a bigger knife for sure. But that's not really what this thing is doing. You can carve with this thing. You can do any light work with it. Side grip is my jam with this. I just put it there. The curved bottom, just my pinky wraps around it. I side grip it. It's like a hunting grip. Perfect. I cut steak with this. I peel apples with it. Open up packages with it. Envelopes. Anything. Cut rope. Whatever you need to do, man. It will do it. And I don't know if I have anything else to say. I might put another lanyard on it. What do you think? Lanyard or no lanyard? It looks great with a lanyard. I kind of miss it. I see both. I mean, if the tube is there, I mean, they do a great job with their lanyard tubes. The tube is there. Why not? Freaking awesome. Love this knife. Pins are good. Relatively flush. Not perfect. Doesn't have to be. This pin is exposed, which is fine. It's a farm and field. It's a worker. This is a true work knife. It doesn't got the fancy pants, even as much as the Titty has, let alone the Northfields or the GEC branded ones. I mean, the pins are exposed. It's fine. You can throw some oil in there. This thing is meant to be used, baby. So just use it. What do you think? Oops, sorry. You like it? You don't like it? What's your favorite pattern? You got any 71s? I'm interested to see, people must be out there that have these in every pattern. Not every pattern, in every cover material, right? Like the orange Delrin, the Knife Bright, the Canvas micarta, the Burlap micarta, the what's that? The snakeskin micarta. What's that? It'll come to me. Anyway, that kind of micarta. There's red linen micarta, there's green linen, there's green canvas, there's brown canvas, there's burlap. I mean, that would be cool to have this running collection. But even these knives now, I mean, you can't get them. Used to be a day you just pick these things up, man, for like $80. You just get them. You know what I mean? And if they came out, you didn't have to like make a decision right away. They'd be on somebody's website for a few days, whatever, week, whatever. You take a look at it. It's like, you know what? I want the red one. You bought the red one. Now it's like, if you don't make a decision in 15 seconds, they're gone. And the next time you get them is either in 2 years when they do another run of them, or you spend $300 on them on eBay, which to me is, for this anyway, is a little crazy. I can see doing whatever you want to do with other GEC knives, or just doing it in general, what you want to do in terms of pocket knives. Buy whatever you want. You know, it's a free country. You should buy whatever you want. Or spend, if you want to spend $400 on one, spend $400 on one. It's not my business. But what I'll say is, for me personally, I wouldn't on this. But then again, I'm kind of spoiled because I got into GCs a long time ago, and I have them. A lot of guys now get into them, and they're like, I want a collection of GCs. What the heck am I going to do? I saw a video the other day of somebody saying, essentially, these knives now are secondary market knives, and I agree with that. They used to be where you could take some time, figure it out. There's inventory on somebody's website after GEC makes a production run, and you can buy it for a reasonable price. Now, pretty much every time, barring some exceptions, every time GEC makes a run of these, they're gone, and then they hit the secondary market, and that's when things take off. I say to that, okay, it's not. It just is what it is. It's not really. It's not so important what my opinion is on that. What's important is what's happening with it. You know what I mean? The fact of the matter is, it's a free market. GEC is making what they can make. I don't think there's anything nefarious going on. I don't think Bill Howard is sitting behind his desk and saying to himself, you know what, I just want to make 100 of these so that people feel the pain. I don't think that's happening. I think he's making as much as he can. He does a phenomenal job. That's the other thing people don't give him credit for, is maybe he can make more knives, but would the quality control be the same? Who am I to say, yeah, it would? Who am I to say that? He's the guy who left Queen, started GEC, and made GEC what it is. Would I like him to make more? Sure. But not if the quality went down. So again, he can run his business how he wants, and then people buy him, and people get annoyed that the secondary market, these prices are what they are. But the fact is, it's just the way it goes, man. It's just the way it is. I'll just leave it there. I wish I could get a TC Barlow for $100. I'll tell you that right now, but I can't. So it's kind of like where I'm out of it. I just don't. I overthink too many things. I don't need to overthink that. All right, I'm out. I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think about it, and looking forward to making another video soon. And God bless you guys. See you later.